Okay, good evening everyone. We're going to start sat down on our mats today, so just in our easy cross, our cross-legged position. So just getting yourself comfortable, having a block to sit on, if that is comfortable for you. And welcome to Thursday's class. Today we're going to be doing, it's a bit of a twisty class today. So lots of kind of twists and turns. Twisting is really good for, well, it's just really good for your spine, really good for your spinal health, getting your spine moving in that way. It's not a movement we take very often. Please be careful when we are twisting. Obviously it's a lovely thing to do, and it's really relaxing for your muscles around your spine, but just don't push it too hard. Be mindful of your body as always. And I always think of when we're twisting our spine, it's a bit like wringing out a dishcloth of like water. You're kind of squeezing out all the kind of toxins from your spine. So it's really good for detoxing, really good for cleansing. And if you do get any back pain at all, it can be really nice to do some twists to relieve the muscles in your back. But yes, please do always be careful where your back's concerned. So yes, twist today, and obviously same as everything in yoga, we need a nice strong core to protect our spine as we twist, so we'll be doing a little bit of core work as well. But yes, quite a nice twisty flow today. So we shall get started, closing down the eyes if you haven't done so already, finding our nice tall spine, and just letting the hands rest just in your lap or on your thighs, on your knees. Just releasing the shoulders away from the ears. And softening down the face, relaxing around the forehead, the jaw, the neck. Bringing your focus inward. And when we say that, we just mean bringing your focus to you, to your body, to your breathing. Just kind of releasing any thoughts of the external world around you. And starting to focus on you. This is your time. The next hour is just for you. So just noticing your breathing first of all, not changing it, just keeping it kind of natural. Just noticing it, noticing your inhales, your exhales. And then let's start to take a couple of deeper inhales and longer exhales. So just gently lengthening the breath. Expanding your body as you inhale and softening as you exhale. Trying to keep the breath steady, controlled. And then letting the breathing return to normal. And then you might just notice, returning the breathing to normal, your breath might just naturally get a bit longer, which is good, always good. Slowing down the breathing, really good to calm your nervous system, which is why we always say if you're feeling a bit anxious or worried, taking some deep breaths is a really good way to calm the body down. So nice, slow, deep breathing is great. Okay, let's move into our neck. So just dropping one ear down to one shoulder, stretching out the side of the neck. And then semi-circling round, just dropping the chin down and up the other side. And back again. Keeping our spine tall if we can, so watch we're not kind of sinking into our lower back. Keeping that core engaged to sit up nice and tall. Okay, bringing our head back to center. This time just looking over one shoulder. And then looking over the other. And back, looking over the first shoulder, and this time really taking your eyes as far round as you can see over your shoulder. Doing some eye yoga. And then back over the other shoulder and looking as far as you can round with your eyes. Good, okay, back to center. Taking some shoulder rolls, just getting some movement into the shoulders, taking some forward circles, backward circles. And then letting the shoulders melt back and down as we reach the arms up. So watching the shoulders don't creep up to the ears, keeping them pulled back and down, extending the arms up. So we just want to get some length through the side body, length through the spine, which helps us come into our twist. The more length we have, the easier it is to twist. So we'll come into our side stretches first, just dropping one hand down to the side, reaching up and over with your other hand, just making sure that sit bone, that outer sit bone, is keeping pressed down into the floor, into your block, into your mat. And then back up through center, over to the other side. Both hands up to center. And we'll twist over. Again, it doesn't really matter which side you do first, over to one side. Just using this hand on your knee just to help guide you round. Reaching back up to center and over to the other side. Remembering to breathe as we're holding into our poses. Coming back through center, let's reach up. Stretching the arms out wide, and then just bringing the hands down, maybe just resting on the floor behind us, opening up the chest, taking our gaze up towards the ceiling, and then coming back to upright. So we'll do that whole little sequence again. So reaching up the center to begin with, and then over into our side stretch. Just watching if you're not holding your breath in your side stretches and your twists. It's quite common to hold the breath over to the other side. So just noticing if you do and just breathing. Back up to center, reaching up and twisting round. Through our center, reaching up and over the other side. Back up to center, this time bringing the arms down by the side, reaching out, stretching the arms, bringing them down behind us, maybe just resting the fingertips on the floor and taking our gaze up towards the ceiling, nice opening in the chest. And then coming back to center. We'll bring our legs out in front of us at our 10 to 2 position, so keeping our knees bent. And then knees kind of tracking directly over in the same direction as our feet. We'll bring our left hand down first. So left hand just reaching down towards your left inner ankle. And just use that kind of pressure between your leg and your arm to help us go into our twist. We're going to reach our right arm all the way up and over, nice big arc. And then reaching behind you with those right fingertips, using that pressure between your leg and your arm just to help you twist around. Bringing the right arm all the way back, sweeping it down and round, and the same on the other side. Left arm sweeps high, reaching the left fingertips out behind us, so keeping our arms nice and straight. And then bringing that left arm up and over round. We'll do the same again. So reaching our right arm all the way around. This time we're going to bring it all the way around behind our back. And we can either just rest our right hand just on the small of our back, or we might be able to sneak our fingertips just to kind of touch the top of our left thigh. So wherever you are, just you still using that pressure between our left arm and left knee, kind of left lower leg, just to kind of squeeze us into the twist. Okay, bringing that right arm, straightening it up, sweeping it all the way around. Same on the other side. Nice big circle with your left fingertips all the way around, and just seeing wherever it lands on your back, maybe touching the top of that right thigh. And then really opening up this left shoulder up to the back of the room. Breathing. Good. Unraveling the arm, bringing it all the way around. Back to center. We're going to come through to kneeling now, so just removing any blocks of support that you have. And we're going to come up to a high kneel. So keeping your knees hip distance apart. If you do need to fold over your yoga mat at all or have a bit of extra padding for your knees, please do so. If you do have delicate knees, that's absolutely fine. We want our feet the same width as our knees, so toes pointing backwards, and let's lengthen our tailbone down towards the mat. So you might feel a bit of an opening in the front of the hips here. And again, keeping your spine nice and tall, shoulders back and down. Let's reach our arms out in front of us. Okay, we're going to bring our left arm down and back as we slightly kind of rock backwards and then rock forwards, bringing the arm with us. And then same on the right hand side. Now the key here is to try and keep your body in one straight line. So we want to kind of engage our core here, and we can start with a really kind of subtle movement. And then depending how you find it, we can maybe just bring ourselves a little bit further back. I'm just using one breath per movement. So inhaling as we sweep back, exhaling to come forward, and again. So you might feel this down the front of your legs in your core area, maybe into your glutes, the backs of your legs. Just keeping a nice, slow, steady rhythm. Good. Okay, making it even on both sides. If you can remember which side you started with. And we'll bring our hands just down to our hips. We're going to extend our left leg out beside us. So we want our left leg long and straight, foot flat on the mat. And kind of in line with our knee. So just watch the leg isn't too far forward or too far back. Taking our right arm, we're going to sweep up and over, so into a nice side stretch down the right side of the body first. And we're going to bring that hand all the way down, place it on the mat beside us, maybe just the fingertips or the hand, and then reach up and over those left fingertips. So coming into our kind of full body side stretch, supported, really reaching out through the left fingertips, planting down with the left heel. Or the whole of the left foot, I should say. Okay, so bringing ourselves up, bringing up that left arm first, slightly push with that right hand. Let's extend our arms out to the side as we come up, opening up the chest. Let's pull our shoulder blades together, and then coming in, giving ourselves a hug, folding the arms around, and then again, opening up and exhaling. Okay, bringing the hands down to the hips. We'll bring that left foot in, same on the other side. So extending our right foot out, just finding our kind of alignment, keeping this body nice and straight so you don't want to be leaning, and then straightening out this leg, making sure our foot's in alignment with our knee. Right hand to the right hip, or we can just place it on our thigh. Let's sweep the left arm up and over. Side stretch down the left side. And then we're kind of going to cartwheel the arms, so the left hand comes down to the mat, right arm up and over, and kind of push the hips forward as we come into the side stretch. The hips have a tendency to kind of rock back, so keep the hips pushed forward, You'll feel a really good stretch all down your side body. Okay, preparing to come up. Maybe just giving yourself a little push with that left hand, keeping our arms straight all the way up, using our core. As we inhale, let's open up the chest. And exhale, fold in. Inhale, open up. And exhale, fold in. Good. Bringing the hands down. Bringing that foot back. We'll come into our child's pose. So just bringing the knees hip distance apart. Sinking back. And then having a nice stretch out of the spine. Breathing here. Releasing around your hips, around your lower back. Take any little movements or little stretches you need to here. Child's pose can be, well, it is completely your own. You can move how you like. If you want to creep the fingers a bit further forward or have the arms fully resting on the floor. And then we'll slowly bring ourselves up to all fours when you are ready, bringing our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. Coming into our cat-cow. You know the score. As we inhale, looking forward, belly dips down, and as we exhale, spine curves up towards the ceiling. So just taking the movements in your own time, being mindful about your back, being mindful as to how you're moving, pausing wherever you might need to if you need a bit of an extra stretch. Good, okay. Finishing whatever round you are on, and we will meet in our neutral spine, so flat back, strong through the core. Okay, we'll start with our left leg, stretching our left leg backwards, keeping the toe tucked, pushing out through the heel, so finding an opening in the back of the leg, and then we'll bring our right fingertips just touching the floor in front of us, so stretching out the right hand but not lifting it up just yet. Engaging the core, so really pulling that belly button back towards your spine, slowly lift up hand and leg together. And we're going to bring both out to the side, so the left leg comes out to your left and the right arm comes out to your right. And then we'll bring them back to center, and then we're going to crunch them in, knee to elbow. Good, extend back out. Bring them down to touch the floor, back up to shoulder hip height, out to the sides, back to center, and crunch in. Good, one more time. Dip down to the floor, just touching the floor, out to the side, and crunch. Ooh. Extend out, and bringing them both back down to the mat. Good. Great core exercise. Okay, other side, let's extend out the right foot first. Right foot now. Left hand next. And then slowly lifting both up. Keeping the arm and the leg really straight. And then slowly moving out to the sides. Back to center. Crunching in. Extend out. Tap down to the floor. Back up. To the side. Back to center. Crunch knee to elbow. Extend out, tap to the floor. Last one. Up to hip shoulder height, out to the side, back to center, crunch in, extend out. Good. Okay, coming back into our neutral spine. Walking our hands just another kind of hand length forward. We're going to bring our shoulders over our wrists, so coming into a half plank position, firming up our core, doing 3 little press ups before we come down to the mat, so squeezing the elbows in, and as we come down we want our chest to come between our hands, so almost bringing ourselves forward and then pushing up. It doesn't matter how far down you come, Let's do 3. Squeezing the elbows in. And then lowering yourself all the way down to the mat. Good. Firming up the legs when we're here, so pushing the tops of the feet down into the mat, lifting the kneecaps up off the floor. Let's inhale, peeling into our baby cobra, chest comes off the mat. Exhaling down. And again, peeling up. Exhaling down. This time we're going to peel up. We're going to hover our hands off the floor, so keep breathing here. And then if it feels okay, let's lift our legs off the floor, so pointing the toes back. Breathing here, don't hold your breath. And relax down. Just letting your cheek rest on the floor, give your hips a little wiggle. Good. Bringing the hands under the shoulders, coming up to our downward facing dog, so we can come up through hands and knees. Or if we are feeling particularly strong, we can push up to our plank and then up to our downward facing dog. So lifting the hips up nice and high, whichever way you choose to get there. And let's just paddle out the legs. Taking a look at our hands, making sure they're about shoulder distance apart and really spreading out the fingers. So we really want a good piece of mat between each finger. And our fingers want to be flat on the floor, really pressing down with our thumb as well. Really strong base through our hands. Okay, finding some stillness with your downward dog. Melting your chest down towards your knees. Breathing. And then we're going to take a step forward with our right foot. So nice big step forward with your right foot, lowering the back knee down, coming into our low lunge. Sweeping the arms up high. Making sure that front knee is directly over the front toes. And you're not coming forward over the ankle, so no pressure on the ankle. Bringing our right hand to our right hip, left arm up and over. Finding a stretch to our side, and releasing the right fingertips down to the floor, bringing the right arm back, left arm forward, coming into our twist. And then let's kind of reverse the twist. So left arm points up to the ceiling, right arm down to the mat. And then the other way. So left arm comes down next to the front foot, right arm up towards the sky. Really extending out through those top fingertips. And then bringing the right hand back, tucking the back toe under. We're going to step straight back to our downward dog. So lifting the hips up high. And breathing here. Okay, left side. Let's take a nice big step forward with the left foot. Just grabbing the ankle and shuggling it forward if you need to, remember. Reaching up, relaxing the shoulders down. Left hand to the left hip, right arm up and over. Keeping that front leg strong, keeping the back leg strong. Grounding down through the points of contact with the mat. Releasing these left fingertips down towards the mat, coming into our twist. So left arm back, right arm forward. Reversing, so right fingertips point up, left point down. And then cartwheeling down, bringing our left hand up, reaching for the sky. Bringing the left hand down. Let's tuck the back toes under, stepping forward to the front of the mat. Coming into our forward fold, so letting the head hang heavy. We can bend into the knees here, or you can have the legs straight, your choice. So coming into the knees, can work into the hips a bit more. If you want to try and straighten the legs to work on opening up the hamstrings, you can always have some support for your hands if you need it. Just taking a couple of breaths in your forward fold. Just letting the head hang wherever you are, giving your head a little bit of a shake. And then slowly let's curl up to standing, taking a little bend in the knees to bring yourself up. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up to the sky, and exhaling down into our Tadasana. Just bringing our feet hip distance apart if they weren't already. Hands to prayer position. You can close down the eyes here if you like. And just using a bit of pressure with our hands, with our palms against each other. And as soon as you kind of push into the palms, you might feel the shoulders just opening a bit more, kind of squeezing the shoulder blades together. Keeping the shoulders down as well, so just watch they're not hunched up by the ears, keeping them kind of back and down. Taking a couple of breaths here in our mountain pose, Tadasana. Okay, opening up the eyes if you had them closed, releasing the hands down by the side, coming up onto the tiptoes, reaching the arms up to the sky, finding a little bit of balance, and then just lowering the heels down, keeping our arms up, coming into our side stretches again. So over to the right or left, it doesn't matter. Then back up to center, over to the other side. Keeping our feet grounded here, so even weight through the feet. Back up through center. Okay, let's stretch out our arms all the way down. We're going to clasp our hands behind us. And actually just watch we do get the right sides here, because this one does matter. We're going to cross our right leg over our left. So right leg in front, and we're going to bring our clasped hands just towards our right hip. So don't worry if they don't come all the way there, or even if you can't quite clasp your hands. Just bringing your hands towards that hip, and let's squeeze the shoulders together here. So really kind of pulling that right shoulder back and down. And then we're going to take our gaze over behind our right shoulder. So this is a bit of a full body twist going on. You might not feel it, you might feel it a lot. Everybody's different. Breathing here. And then releasing, uncrossing your legs. And we'll do that again, coming onto the other side. So let's come up onto our tiptoes first of all. Inhaling up to the sky. Lowering the heels down. Coming into our side stretch one side. And then over to the other side. Back up through center. Extending our arms all the way down, squeezing the shoulder blades together, clasping the hands behind us. And this time we're going to step our left leg over our right. So our left is in front. We're going to bring our hands towards our left hip, the back of our left hip. Squeeze the shoulders together, squeeze that kind of left elbow to try and meet, obviously never would, but try and meet the right elbow. And then we'll take our gaze over our left shoulder. And breathing here. Slowly releasing. Bringing our feet back to hip distance apart, rolling our shoulders back and down. Let's inhale, sweeping the arms up high. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Flattening the back, reaching the crown of the head forward. Hands come down to the mat. Let's step both feet out to our plank position, full plank. Pausing here, remember you can always lower the knees if you need to. Breathing in our planks, strong through the legs, strong through the core, strong through the shoulders. And then lowering down to the mat, whichever you do, either full plank or half plank, squeezing the elbows in, lowering down with control. As we inhale, let's come up into our cobra, so maybe peeling a little bit further this time, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. And down, bringing ourselves up to our downward facing dog, hips up high. Good. Stretching out the legs. Pushing down through the hands, straightening the arms. Okay, taking our right leg, big step forward with our right leg. We're coming into our high lunge this time. So keeping that back leg lifted, sweeping the arms up high. Coming back into our side stretch, so right hand to the right hip, left arm up and over. Right fingertips point downwards, then sweeping the right arm back, left arm forward. So same sequence, just with that back leg lifted this time. Reversing, so left fingertips up to the sky, right fingertips down. And then bringing the left hand down, right fingertips up into our twisted lunge. Lowering that back knee down, we're going to come back up into our twist. So come up vertical. Then we're going to bring our hands into our prayer position and just tucking that left elbow over that right knee. So our low twisted prayer. Breathing here. Option, if you want a little bit more, you can tuck that back toe under and lift up that leg. Strong through the legs. And let's extend out the arms, cartwheel them down. We're going to step straight back into our downward dog. So lifting that right leg up, stepping it back, down dog. Okay, left side. Nice big step forward with the left foot, high lunge. Sweeping the arms up. Bringing the left hand down to the left hip, right arm up and over. And then lowering those left fingertips down, sweeping into our twist. Reversing. And then bringing that right hand down, left arm up to the sky. Keeping that back leg strong and straight. And we can lower that back knee down, coming back up into our twist. Hands into prayer. Tucking that elbow over the left knee and just using that to try and ease you gently into our twist. Really pushing those palms together. Breathing. And then if you want a little bit extra, we can just lift up that back knee from the floor. Opening up the arms, cartwheeling down. Let's step back into our plank or half plank. Lowering down through our vinyasa. Inhaling, back bend. And then exhaling, downward dog. Oh, good. Taking a couple of breaths here. Then looking forward, walking, hopping, stepping up to the front of the mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold, letting your head hang heavy. Straight legs or bent legs here. And let's take a nice big inhale, sweeping all the way up to standing. And exhaling down. Tadasana. Breathing here. Okay, wiggling the feet together, wiggling the legs together. Squeezing the legs together, keeping our hands in our prayer position, slowly lowering down into our squat, our Utkatasana. So we want to kind of lengthen down through that tailbone. So watch you're not kind of sticking your bum out, collapsing in our lower back as we lower down. And watch the knees don't come over the toes. We want to keep the weight back in our heels. Okay, we're going to come into our twist. So we're going to twist and tuck our left elbow over our right knee here, keeping your hands in your prayer position. Don't worry if you can't quite make it, it's fine. And then let's lift up our left leg. We're going to slide or step that left foot backwards. So coming back into our high prayer position. Opening up the arms, so coming back into our twist. And then bringing the left arm up and over, right arm down and forward, twisting back into our warrior two. So right arm forward, left arm back, bending in the front knee, straightening in the back. Straightening up that front leg. We're going to turn the toes to face forward, so both feet are parallel, coming into our wide-legged forward fold here. So straightening up the legs, firming up the thighs, hands come to the hips, folding from the hips. Trying to keep the legs straight. If you do need to bend them a little, that is fine. But you might want to try wiggling them a little further apart. It can help to come forward. And we're going to bring our hands directly underneath our shoulders. So find length through the spine. If you need some support for your hands, you might want to have some blocks. That's also fine. Then we're going to bring our right hand just in a little bit, so directly underneath our face. And then we're going to reach our left fingertips up towards the sky, so coming back into a twist. And then keeping strength through the legs, we're going to push up off the floor with that right hand, bringing ourselves up to standing. The left arm's going to come down and round. The right arm's going to come up and round. We're going to follow our right hand as the left arm comes up. And then we're going to come back down to the floor. So this time the left hand comes to the floor, right arm up to the sky. And then we'll bring the right hand down. Good. Bringing our hands to our hips. Nice big inhale, lifting up. Bending back into our warrior two. So toes pointing forward, bending into the front leg. We're going to come back the way we came. So left arm down and forward, right arm up and back, pivoting on that back foot, coming into our twist. And then bringing our hands to prayer, tucking that elbow over the knee. Straightening that back leg if we can. And then stepping that back foot forward, or sliding, or hopping. Coming back into our twist, and then we'll face forward. Coming back to standing. Taking a couple of breaths here, keeping our feet, our legs glued together. And we'll come down for the next side. So coming back into our Utkatasana squat. Let's tuck that right elbow over the left knee. Twist. Take our weight into our left foot. Leap of faith back with our right foot. You can wiggle that foot back if you need. Finding our alignment. And then extending out the arms. Sweeping the left arm down, right arm up, coming into our warrior two. Reaching out through the fingertips, relaxing down the shoulders. And then turning the left toes in, hands to the hips, prasarita, forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. Really firming up the thighs. Strong straight legs, hands come down directly under your shoulders. And this time we'll bring the left hand in slightly, so just directly under your face, and then reach the right fingertips up. Maybe slightly pushing on the floor with the left hand, keeping your arms straight, we're cartwheeling. So following the right fingertips down, and then as the right arm comes forward, the left arm comes back, so does your gaze. And then we'll come forward with the right hand touching the floor, left fingertips up to the sky. Good, bringing the left hand down. Hands come to the hips, bringing yourself up. Back into our warrior two. Just taking a moment just to find your warrior two. And then coming back the way we came. So left arm comes up and back, right arm comes down and forward into our twist. Hands come to prayer. Tuck that elbow over that knee. And then stepping forward with that right foot. Coming back into our twist. Slowly coming back through to center. Bringing ourselves to standing, we're going to reach up to the sky this time. Let's come up onto our tiptoes. And then we'll come back down to the floor, staying on our tiptoes if we can, all the way down. And we'll come into our little ball. So still staying on your tiptoes, hugging around your knees, chin to chest. And then slowly coming to seated, so just dropping yourself down. We'll extend out the legs. So we're going to come into our Dandasana now, which is just our upright seated position, but it's a really strong seated position. So we want our feet to be pointing, our toes to be pointing up towards the ceiling. Legs, it doesn't matter if they're straight or bent, what we want is length in the spine. So if we need to bend the knees in order to sit up nice and tall, then bend the knees. Don't worry about having your straight legs. So really lengthening through the spine, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. And we want our legs active, whether they're bent or straight. Let's firm up the thighs, pull the toes back towards you. You can have your hands on your thighs or just down beside you, and just really focus on lengthening, strengthening, sitting up nice and tall. If you have straight legs, you can even bring the heels up off the floor. Your legs are that strong. And relaxing, bending up the knees, curving around your knees. Ooh, finding that natural curve in your spine, letting your head hang. And then slowly bringing ourselves up. We're going to bring the left knee in and keep the right leg extended. And we're just going to drop that left knee out to the side. So we want the sole of the foot coming, pushing against the right inner thigh. Just watch your foot's not on your knees. Just try and bring it either above the knee or maybe below the knee. We should be okay above the knee. And just letting that leg rest out to the side. Reaching up, folding over that straightened leg. And it does not matter how far your hands come down. What we want to find is a slight twist in the torso. So we really want to twist our torso towards the straight leg. And breathing here, pulling those toes back towards you on your right leg. So engaging as you twist, as you fold. Slowly bringing yourself back up to upright. We're going to bring this left knee in, keeping the leg bent, foot flat on the floor. This time we'll come into our twist, reaching up with your right arm and twisting over the left knee, bringing your left hand behind you, just to help you sit up tall. So find that length through the spine. Watch that right foot doesn't flop. We want to keep that foot engaged. And twisting round, just noticing how your back is feeling, how your spine is feeling. And then slowly bringing yourself back. Stretching out your left leg onto the other side. So bringing the right knee in and then just flopping the knee out. Having your right foot kind of pushing against your inner thigh. Let's reach up to the sky and fold over that straightened leg. Might feel very different on this side. That's completely fine. So remember, our bodies aren't symmetrical much as we would like them to be. So be kind. Keep those left toes kind of pulling back towards you. And remember, we're having a slight twist towards that leg. Slowly bringing yourself back up. We'll bring this right knee back up too. Keeping it nice and close. Foot flat on the ground, left toes pulling back towards you, reaching our left arm up and twisting round, bringing the right hand behind you, and then just using that hand to help you sit up nice and tall. So we don't want to be leaning into that back hand. It's just a support to help us keep tall. Watching your left foot hasn't gone floppy and easing into the twist. Good, bringing ourselves back round to centre, stretching out our legs. We will come into our boat pose, Navasana, before we come down to lie down. So bringing the feet together, legs together, hands just in the creases of your knees. Let's just find our sit bones. We can just kind of rock back and forward a little bit, just find our balance point. Let's keep the shoulders away from the ears, and again, trying to keep that spine nice and long, so watch you're not kind of curving into your spine, keeping that spine straight. When you are ready, let's lift our heels, let's lift our toes, sorry, up off the mat. Finding our balance point. If that feels okay, let's bring our hands out. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Curving over your thighs, letting your head hang. And again, let's come back into our position. We'll do it another 2 times. So when you are ready, finding your position. If you want to try and straighten your legs, by all means, go for it. It does make it a lot harder. So just finding your balance, reaching forward with your arms. You can always have them resting on your legs as well, that's fine. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Breathing. And last time, coming up into our boat. Relaxing the face. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, wiggling yourself up to the front of your mat. We're going to come to lie down. So let's reach forward with our fingertips, slowly lowering down. Let's use all that core strength we've been working. Lowering the spine down little bit by little bit. And when we are there, let's bring our knees into our chest. Have a little rock and roll from side to side. Just massaging kind of all around your lower back. But you can just bring your hands to your knees here, and you can just have a little bit of a play around, just rocking and rolling. Whatever feels good for you. Good. Okay, squeezing the knees in. Let's extend out the left leg. Nice and long. We'll come into our twist. If you have another variation of twist that you prefer, please go ahead and take your twist. But for this one, we'll squeeze the right knee into the chest, and then we'll bring the right knee over. As we do so, let's lift the hips and just shovel them over to the right a little bit. So we're kind of coming onto the side of our left hip. And then extend out the right arm beside us, keeping the shoulders on the floor, right fingertips pointing away, and take our gaze over towards the right. And breathing here, nice long deep breaths. Seeing where we can release any tension, maybe around the face, around the neck. And then slowly, when you're ready, bringing yourself back through to center, shifting the hips back in line with our spine, and we'll swap the legs round. So squeezing the left leg in, right leg extends on the mat. And then bringing that left knee over, shiggling the hips over to the left as we come into our twist. And then bringing our gaze over towards our left fingertips. And releasing. Maybe closing down the eyes. Noticing if you're holding any tension around your forehead, letting your head be heavy on the floor. Slowing down the breathing. And then when you're ready, bringing yourself back through to center. Hips come back into alignment with our spine. Bring our feet nice and close to our sit bones, toes pointing forward. Space between the knees. Let's take some bridges. So first of all, let's tilt our pelvis. So we want to bring our pelvis, our sacrum, our tailbone up off the floor first, and then let's peel our spine up, all the way up to our shoulders. So opening up the front of the body here, find a nice stretch down your quads, the front of your hips, and then lowering back down. This time as we lift up, we're going to bring our arms up with us. So floating the arms up towards the sky and then all the way back and overhead as we come up onto our shoulders. So our hips are lifted, our arms are on the floor reaching behind us, pausing here. And then slowly lowering everything back down. So floating the arms back down, floating the spine back down, all the way. And again, let's lift up, float the arms up. Nice and slowly with control. And then back down. So taking a couple more rounds, whichever variation you like. If you want to leave the hands down, then that's absolutely fine. Just concentrate on the spine. Or if you quite like floating the hands, then please be my guest. Just taking a couple more in your own time. And next time your hips meet the mat, we will come into our Shavasana. So please feel free to put any items of clothing on, or socks or scarves, or a blanket if you have one, can be really nice. Extending the legs out to the end of the mat, nice and wide. Just letting your feet flop out to the side, and then letting your arms flop out to the side, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Maybe just giving your head a little shake from side to side, and then just letting it kind of fall in its central position. Just pulling your chin slightly towards your chest so you get that nice length in the back of the neck. In fact, everyone, we'll take our hands to the back of our neck and just give yourself a little bit of a shoulder massage. Why not? So just those muscles, your traps, kind of at the top of your shoulders leading into the neck. Give yourself a nice little rub. And then maybe take that into the back of your neck, up into your skull, that kind of little soft patch right at the base of your skull. And then lift up your head from the floor. And then you can kind of do a little lengthening around the back of your neck. So just rubbing your hands, lengthening the back of the neck, and then placing your head back down on the floor. Bringing your hands back down beside you. Palms facing up. Oh, and taking a nice big inhale. And a nice long exhale. And let's soften with our exhale. Let's just feel your body melting into the ground. And again, nice long inhale. And exhale. Soften, soften, relax. One more. The biggest inhale you've taken all day. Fill up your chest, fill up your lungs, fill up your belly. And sighing it out. And letting your breath return to normal. Letting the whole weight of your body fully down onto the mat. Just noticing any sensations in your body, any tingling, any warmth. If you spot any tension anywhere, see if you can release it, see if you can let go. Just maybe taking your attention down to the lower half of your body, around your feet, your legs, your hips. And just noticing how heavy it might feel. You can almost feel like the earth is pushing up against you. And then let's bring our attention to our arms, our hands, and the same, let's just let them fully kind of rest down into the earth. Feel like the earth is pushing up against them, taking their full weight. Just noticing where your body is contacting the floor and feeling that heaviness there. Now let's come to your torso, fully releasing, fully melting down your torso, all those core muscles around your belly, your lower back, around your spine, which we've been working so hard today, the backs of your shoulders, so much going on, just fully releasing where you can. Melting down. Heavy, relaxed, at ease. Fully deserving this resting period at the end of our session. Letting your muscles have a well-deserved rest. And now let's bring a little bit of life back. So taking a nice deep breath in, long breath out, and start to wiggle our fingers and toes. And then bringing our legs together, bringing our hands together, reaching up and away. Pencil stretch, like our morning stretch, waking up the body. And then bringing our knees into our chest, curling up into our little ball. And coming to rest on either side, your right or your left, in our little fetal position. Slowly pushing yourself up, making your way back to our easy cross-legged position. You can always come to kneeling here or have your legs straight out in front of you as well. That's completely fine, whatever is comfortable for you. And where you are, finding that length through the spine, sitting up tall. Nice big breath in and sighing breath out. Rolling the shoulders up, back and down, and bringing your hands together into your prayer position and using that slight pressure with your hands just to open up the chest as we blink open the eyes. Namaste.